The grand wedding hall in Dallas, Texas was glowing with luxury lights and designer suits everywhere, but in the middle of all that wealth stood one girl who was never supposed to belong there. Her name was Scarlett Hayes, a small-town Texas girl who had built her life from nothing. When she walked into the billionaire family wedding, everyone whispered. Some laughed. Some called her cheap. And then her future father-in-law stood up in front of hundreds of guests and humiliated her publicly. They thought she would cry. They thought she would leave. But what Scarlett Hayes did next froze the entire wedding hall, and by the time the night ended, the same people who mocked her were begging for her respect. Scarlett Hayes grew up in a quiet town outside Austin, Texas, where life was simple but never easy. Her mother worked double shifts at a diner, and Scarlett learned early that respect was something you earned, not something you were born into. While other kids dreamed of parties and vacations, Scarlett dreamed about building something big. She studied hard, worked 2 jobs, and eventually started a small tech service company from her tiny apartment. It started with fixing laptops and coding small websites, but slowly her business grew. By the time she turned 27, Scarlett Hayes had built a company that served hundreds of small businesses across Texas. She was successful, but she stayed humble. Then she met Daniel Carter in Houston. Daniel was kind, smart, and unlike anyone she had ever met. What Scarlett did not know at first was that Daniel belonged to one of the wealthiest families in Texas. The Carter family owned oil companies, real estate investments, and private banks. Their world was filled with luxury yachts, private jets, and elite social circles. But Daniel loved Scarlett for who she was. Not her money. Not her background. Just her heart. When Daniel proposed, Scarlett said yes with tears in her eyes. She thought love would be enough. But the Carter family had other plans. From the moment they heard about the engagement, they started judging her. They whispered about her small-town roots. They laughed at her simple lifestyle. Daniel tried to defend her, but his father, Richard Carter, believed their family name deserved someone richer, someone more powerful. Still, the wedding was planned. A massive luxury event in a 5-star Dallas ballroom with more than 400 guests. Politicians, business leaders, and media personalities filled the hall. Scarlett walked into that room wearing a beautiful but simple white dress. She looked stunning. But the whispers started immediately. Some women giggled. Some men smirked. Then came the moment that would change everything. Richard Carter stood up to give a speech. Instead of welcoming Scarlett, he began insulting her. He said their family had built an empire and that some people were simply not meant to sit at the same table. The entire hall went silent. Everyone knew he was talking about Scarlett. Scarlett felt the humiliation burning inside her chest. But she did not cry. She did not run. Instead, she calmly walked to the stage. She took the microphone from Richard Carter. The room was silent. Scarlett looked at the crowd and spoke with quiet confidence. She said something no one expected. She revealed that her small tech company had recently partnered with a major Silicon Valley firm. And that morning the deal had been finalized. Her company was now worth over $200 million. The crowd gasped. But Scarlett was not finished. She looked directly at Richard Carter and said, "Money does not make a family great. Respect does." Then she announced something that shocked everyone. Instead of marrying into a family that treated people like they were nothing, she had decided to walk away. Daniel stood frozen. The guests were stunned. Scarlett thanked the few people who had supported her. Then she walked out of the wedding hall with her head held high. The next day, the story spread across social media and news outlets. People across America praised Scarlett Hayes for her courage. Her company gained national attention. New investors joined her business. Within 2 years, Scarlett became one of the most successful young entrepreneurs in Texas. Meanwhile, the Carter family faced public criticism for their arrogance. And Daniel later admitted that losing Scarlett was the biggest mistake of his life. Scarlett Hayes proved one powerful truth. The greatest revenge is not anger. The greatest revenge is success.